Ready, guys? All right, let's begin with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Morning. Welcome, everybody. It's June 16th. This is the Shawnee County Board of County Commissioners. I'm Aaron Mays. I missed the memo on the tan suit today, so my apologies to the three of you. On my left is Commissioner Rippon, representing District 1. On my right is Commissioner Kevin Cook, representing District 2. Good morning, both of you. Our County Councilor, Rich Eckert, at my far right, and our County Clerk, Lisa Schmidt, at my far left. Good morning to both of you as well.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Let's dive in. First item, please.
All right, first item is item 2, consent agenda.
We have 5 items on the consent agenda. If there's no issues with any of those, I would move for approval.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Mays, second by Commissioner Rippon. Those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion passes 3-0. Next item, please.
Item 4, new business, excuse me. A, County Clerk. 1, consider all voucher payments.
Okay, total vouchers at the time of this report, $4,115,320.39. Significant payments include $617,598.65 to KBS Constructors, Inc. for monthly progress payment on the state-funded portion of the work on the mental health facility using state grant funding. $78,190 to Choice Solutions, LLC for Newtonic virtual server platform for the Sheriff's Department, paid with federal forfeiture funds. $141,252.18 to Cine and Company for monthly progress payment on the courthouse renovation project using building maintenance funding from ARPA SLFRF funding, leaving only retainage remaining to be paid. $218,301.54 in Public Works to King Construction for final payment of the bridge replacement project on Northwest 35th Street over a tributary to Soldier Creek using bridge project funding. If there's no questions or comments, I would move for approval of the vouchers.
Second.
Okay, we've got a motion by Commissioner Rippon and a second by Commissioner Cook. Those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion passes 3-0. Next item, please.
All right, there are no correction orders, so we'll move to B, Planning Department. 1, public hearing and consider approval of a preliminary final plat for CRWD number 2, Tower 1 subdivision to create one lot to be located at 9525 Northwest 46th Street. The property is zoned RA1 and is located in Silver Lake Township.
Good morning, Commissioners. Joni Thadani, Director of the Planning Department. As mentioned, what you have before you today is a plat. Both the preliminary and final plat would be considered and approved today as one. It's over off of Northwest 46th Street, and it's a current rural water district tower. The subdivision tower, well, the tower has been there for probably 35, 40 years, since 98, and it does have a conditional use permit. We don't have a plat for this, and the size of the parcel should have required a plat. And so when they came to our office to inquire about putting up a storage building, we indicated that they needed to move forward in amending the conditional use permit. It's just a minor amendment, and so that will be done in-house, but also they needed to do a plat. And as you can see, the acreage of it is less than 1 acre. There was a there was a hearing in front of the Planning Commission on Monday, February 10, and that ended with a 3-3 split vote, which in turn means that it actually failed to recommend approval as recommended by the staff. The split vote was a result of a dedication of road right-of-way that was requested by the Public Works Department. In essence, the location of the current road and where the section line falls don't quite line up correctly. And so if they dedicate 45 feet, an additional 45 feet of road right-of-way, that full road would fall on the rural water district's land. None of it would fall on the neighboring land across the street. And so the rural water district was requesting that they only need to dedicate an additional 25 feet of road right-of-way. And so the issue of moving the plat forward with the Planning Commission was not because of a plat. The plat was, the intent of the plat was to approve it. The disagreement was over whether we should dedicate 25 feet or 45 feet. The location of this is up in the northwest corner of Shawnee County, as indicated by the blue star. And this is the current site with the water tower located on it. This is the preliminary plat showing the location of the water tower. And then if you notice to the east, there's a proposed building. And behind that proposed building to the south would be the septic and lateral field. The final plat showing the dedication of road right-of-way. So the staff recommendation prior to the Planning Commission was that the Planning Commission recommend approval with the execution of the additional dedication of public road right-of-way as indicated by Public Works. And then we also wanted them to include some notes on the plat about a dedicated drive to enter onto the land, which if road improvements were made in the future would need to be moved. We also wanted them to include a note on the final plat about a water main that's located on the private property, which would need to, it would fall in the road right-of-way should it be enhanced in the future. And so that would need to be relocated as well. The final thing was that we wanted to have the conditional use permit minor amendment approved prior to any building permits being applied for. And again, that happens through administrative process in my office. So what does that mean for you today? What that means is as we went to the Planning Commission, the split vote was 3-3 for failing to recommend with the 45 feet of road right-of-way. My request today is that we move it forward and approve it with just the dedication of the 25 feet of road right-of-way, which is what the rural water district was requesting. That would mean that we would take off conditions, let me get to it. We would take off the condition of the, we would keep an additional dedication of road right-of-way, but it would only need to be 25 feet. And then we would not need to include note A or note B at this time. And the recommendation would be amended to show that we just move forward with that 25 feet of road right-of-way. And if we were to ever need to enhance the road in the future, then we would deal with that at the time and determine what the best route of enhancing the road would be at the time of that enhancement. So I'm asking that you approve it with the amendments as recommended by the Planning Commission.
Okay, any questions for Joni? All right, then I'll make a motion that we open the public hearing.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Mays, second by Commissioner Cook. Those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion passes 3-0. We're in a public hearing. Anyone wishing to speak in favor of this item?
Good morning. I'm Ben Kramer with Kramer Consulting. We prepared the plats for the district. Just here to answer any questions technical that you would have.
Any questions, Mr. Kramer?
If a new water line was put in, and I think Joni said it was within that 45 feet of right-of-way for the road. Is that true all along the road or on both sides of this property, or is that does that just pertain to this property?
He's asking about the water main that's
Yeah.
on the site. That wouldn't have been within the road right-of-way.
No.
Will it need to be moved anywhere along there, do you know?
No, I do not believe that it would have to be moved along there. It was more a line that ran north-south as opposed to east-west. So it was
Yeah,
gonna
we
be-
go straight
yeah.
across the road there to the north and then turn and go away.
Okay,
Just that short piece of that.
I see.
So if, if the ditch was to be dug deeper there, we would be crossing the ditch line, not running parallel with the ditch.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Further questions? All right, thanks for
Thank
being
you.
here. Okay, anyone else wishing to speak in favor? How about in opposition? Anyone wishing to speak in opposition? Any neutral comments? Okay, seeing none, I would move that we close the public hearing.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Mays, second by Commissioner Cook. Those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion passes 3-0. I would make a motion that we adopt and approve the plat with the recommended amendments.
Which would be for the 25 feet of frontage.
Correct.
Correct.
Second.
Okay, motion by Commissioner Mays, second by Commissioner Cook. Those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion passes 3-0. All right, next item. Thank you.
2, consider approval of one additional 2025 fireworks stand application for the sale of fireworks from June 20th through July 7th, 2025.
Good morning, Commissioners. Shawnee, Director of the Planning Department. You have in front of you just one single fireworks application this morning. If you recall, we were here, I believe, a couple of weeks ago in regards to the fireworks stands. And what had happened is we missed one. We had one that came in through email to our planning email, and somehow we didn't receive it. And the applicant reached out to us and said, I haven't received my permit. And we said, well, that's because we didn't receive an application. And we went back and solidified everything, got it approved by Public Works and the sheriff, and everything is good to go. They've been in existence off of Topeka Boulevard for really a substantial period of time, and so nothing was new about this one. And so we would ask that you approve this fireworks stand so they can begin selling on the 20th.
Okay, questions?
No, I would move for approval.
Second.
All right, got a motion by Commissioner Rippon, second by Commissioner Cook. Those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion passes 3-0. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Next item, please.
C, Parks and Recreation. 1, consider approval of contract C 230-2025 with the Kansas Department of Tourism for the Sunflower Summer Grant Program and to allow Parks and Recreation to submit the agreement electronically.
Good morning, Commissioners. Tim Laurent, Parks and Recreation Department. So we're asking for your approval to execute a contract with the Kansas Tourism for the Sunflower Summer Program. This just affects the Great Overland Station, and the state will reimburse us up to $20,000, so there's no financial risk to the county with participating. We actually think it's a good thing. It brings Kansas families to town and to the Great Overland Station, and help spur some economic impact. So be happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Why so late? I mean, it seems like summer's already well underway.
Well, I think part of it was that there was some debate about whether this program was going to actually be funded. And so that got us all started sort of that got everything behind.
Okay, okay. So are there people showing up with the sunflower summer stuff now and we're turning them away, or?
No,
Okay.
we don't, no, we're fine. We're ahead of the curve as far as when we'll have our exhibits there for them to come look at and things, but we're fine. But yeah,
Okay.
that's why we're behind.
Okay. Any other questions? All right.
I'll move for approval.
Second. Motion by Commissioner Cook, second by Commissioner Mays. Those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion passes 3-0. Next item, please.
2, consider approval to issue a request for proposal for the construction of tennis courts and amenities at Crossover Tennis Center.
So, yes, we've been working, this is Tim Laurent, Parks and Recreation Department. We've been working with the Topeka Tennis Association and Mammoth Sports Construction on this project. Our design is complete. I do have this image up on the screen that sort of shows you the location that we're going to build the 4 new courts. Let's see here. What you're seeing on here is a proposed construction entrance. So the 4 courts would be right here. There'd be a concourse between these other 4 with some shade and other amenities. What we're asking is to go out for the RFP for someone to build this. And at that time, we'll come back with a more, as we receive those RFPs, we'll come back with an exact price. But we do think that we're looking somewhere right now between $1.3, $1.4 million if we do all of this. There will be some ad alternates on the RFP, court resurfacing for the other courts. We've talked about that as part of this project, and lighting upgrades. Also, maybe some differences on fence placement around the 4. So, but anyway, we'd like to issue this RFP with your approval and get this process started.
Okay, any questions? No?
I do have some questions. In between the courts, the existing courts and new ones, there's room for bleachers and et cetera through there?
Yeah, I don't think we would be going with bleachers necessarily. Actually, we are talking about doing some bleachers, I think, in there. And also with some shade structures as well, because we don't have a lot of shade in that area. Most of the seating will be on that side, but we will have some seating, or a place for people to put chairs on this other side of the court, but it'd be the bag chairs, the ones they bring themselves. So the question about the fencing and the ad alternate for that is, we currently show this all being fenced in here, but there was talk about maybe bringing that fence up higher towards this area and creating some seating along this side of these existing courts. Right now, you can go over there and sit, but you're sort of outside of the complex. So, but we'll see what all of that costs, and we'll come back at some point and ask you to approve a final design and a final cost.
Is lighting part of an ad alternate on this project? Or?
We would have lighting for this. That wouldn't be an ad alternate. There'll be lighting on the new 4 courts, but the ad alternate will be to install some additional lighting throughout the complex and switch lights over to LED, which right now it's quite a process when we have a light burn out. We've got to contract someone to come out and change it, and it's pretty pricey, and I think we'd be ahead in the long run if we were able to do that, replace them.
Are you using windscreens on the fencing? Or?
We will, for sure. I mentioned Topeka Tennis. I should also mention Racket and Paddle, the group that we have running things out there. We've been working all together as a group to make sure that we're meeting everyone's needs, and we think we have a pretty good design.
All right.
You mentioned the windscreens. Is there also going to be some landscaping put in for wind screening as well? Like outside the fence, some evergreens or something to help with that?
I'm not sure that we have called for that. That might be something we'll have to look at. Yeah.
Okay. Now also, it's also probably important to know why we're doing this.
I didn't talk about that, but I think that what this does is really, Crossover is already a tremendous complex, and we're lucky to have it, really, Shawnee County is. But this would elevate us to another status. We could bring in these bigger, larger national tournaments with the number of courts that we would have. And so it really amps it up to another level, so to speak. We think the economic impact is big. It'll bring a lot of people to town. We think these larger tournaments eventually will help, will cover the cost of this. But it will really be a good thing for not just Crossover, but for Shawnee County.
Tim, what's the magic number to get these larger tournaments? How many courts do you need to have? 21. And this will bring us up to?
We have, this will bring us up to 22.
Okay.
Okay.
The questions.
Yeah, and it's my understanding the standards changed not that long ago for the minimum courts requirement, and that's what prompted this. So,
That's correct.
Any other questions? Okay, I'll move for approval.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Mays, second by Commissioner Rippon. Those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion passes 3-0. Next item, please.
3, consider approval to issue request for qualifications utilizing the construction manager at-risk delivery for design services and construction services for the Gage Park Carousel renovations.
Tim Laurent, Parks and Recreation Department. As the clerk mentioned, we are asking to go out for an RFQ for construction manager at risk delivery method for this project. As you recall, we are a little bit under a little bit of a time crunch. We will lose the service of Big Gage Shelter January 1 of 2027. So we would like to do an addition at the carousel to replace that lost shelter, so we can continue to offer our summer camp programs and a lot of other rentals and programs that we currently offer in that space. We would also, in addition to the addition, we would renovate the carousel building inside and out. We'd like to refurbish the party room that we have in there now, add a second party room, add a place for brides and grooms to change and get ready for weddings that they hold at the Rhinish Rose Garden, which is just right across the street from the carousel building. So we think there's a lot of synergy there and a lot of things that we can do. This entire project will be funded through Gage Park sales tax funds. And the Gage Park Improvement Authority has pledged $175,000 to help with the actual design costs. With that, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Questions? Okay, I'll move for approval.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Mays, second by Commissioner Cook. Those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion passes 3-0. Next item, please.
4, consider approval to amend the previously approved request for proposal for construction services to prepare the playland area for installation of playground equipment and safety surfacing to include additional related construction elements. Funding from the Gage Park Improvement Authority funds.
Tim Laurent, Parks and Recreation Department. So you did previously approve us to go out for an RFP for, excavation work, drainage, and some other things, site prep. And I want to mention that Kurt Niehaus and Public Works came in and did the preliminary excavation work for us. So that's something we were able to mark off of that list, and it saved us quite a bit of money and time, and we really appreciate you, Kurt, and what they've done. And so with that, we'd like to come back and modify this RFP to include really quite a bit of other things. We've talked about the prep, and that's for safety surfacing, utilities, drainage. There's a lot of concrete work that has to be done, and what we're finding is that this is we think that if we were able to go out and hire somebody to manage this project, that it will run smoother and will be done quicker than if we continue to try to do all of these individual things ourselves. So we'd like to go out for the RFP to hire somebody to manage the project, and we'll still be bringing everything to the commission as far as the purchases and following the purchasing policy, but we would have somebody there on site coordinating all of this. And our hope is that this will make this project run smoother, and we'll actually get this project done sooner. I did bring a few slides, I know you've seen some of these things, but just to sort of impress upon you the scope of the job and the amount of work that's being done. A lot of new concrete, a lot of safety surfacing, a lot of playground equipment installation. We are responsible for the footings of the Sky Trail, which is a pretty big project in itself. So all of these things would be coordinated by this person. There's just another photo of the Sky Trail, and it does show the new addition that we added earlier this year to help meet some ADA requirements and actually add what we think is going to be an incredible space for for everybody, especially little kids and those with disabilities. You can see some of the elevation changes of the Sky Trail and all the different towers that are having to go in. So it's a fairly extensive project. There's a close-up of that new area that I spoke about. And then also you look down here, that's the triple zip line. This is that we have not purchased this yet, but this is a standalone system that has 2 roller slides coming off of it. So all of these things need to be coordinated, and we hope that this process will allow us to do that and do it more efficiently. Again, all of these, everything here that you see is being funded through the Gage Park sales tax. So I would be happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Questions?
Yeah, this is kind of a nitpicking detail, but could you go back to that the overall plan?
I can. There you go.
Okay, on the far left-hand side, there's a sidewalk that goes to the street where the parking is. And we have keep going, right
Yeah.
up, okay, right there. We're just dropping people off in the street right there. And generally, when you have a handicap ramp like that, across the street, we'll need another ramp. It'd be on the zoo sidewalk. Because we don't want to just dump people out on the street there. It has to reciprocate with something on the other side.
So that's the entryway across the street that
Right.
people are using to go to Helen Hawker? Is that
Yes,
that
yeah,
area?
or the zoo.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so, and right now, it's just a curb along there, so they would have to make a curb cut and,
We have looked at that, we have talked about that, and I think we can do that sooner and just
Yeah.
outside of this project.
that's,
so.
we would need to have that.
Sure.
So, all right, that's it.
Okay. Any other questions? All right. I'll move for approval.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Mays, second by Commissioner Rippon. Those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion passes 3-0. Thank you. Next item, please.
D, Health Department. 1, consider approval of contract C 231-2025, a renewal with the Kansas Department of Health and Environment, which will provide $3,000 to help control tuberculosis in Shawnee County for the contract period of July 1, 2025 through June 30th of 2026.
Good morning, Commissioners. Carrie Delphs, Clinical Services Division Manager with the Health Department. This morning, we're asking for your approval to renew this agreement with KDHE to provide funding for TB diagnosis and treatment. Happy to answer any questions.
Questions?
I'll move for approval.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Cook, second by Commissioner Rippon. Those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion passes 3-0. Thank you. Next item, please.
E, Public Works. 1, acknowledge change order number 1 to contract C 460-2024 with King Construction Company Incorporated, reflecting as bid versus as constructed quantities for a bridge replacement project on Northwest 35th over a tributary to Soldier Creek. This change order provides for a construction cost decrease of $5,561.59.
Good morning, Commissioners. Kurt Niehaus, Director of Public Works. This is our final, piece of administrative work we have for our bridge projects. I'm here before you asking you to acknowledge this change order. The project went well. I think in your packet there was pictures of the existing bridge, or the prior bridge, I should say now, and the recently constructed. The project again turned out great. I think the neighbors are happy, and it will be a great improvement to the county road system. I look forward to your questions.
Questions?
No.
I'll move for approval.
Second.
Okay, motion by Commissioner Cook, second by Commissioner Rippon. Those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion passes 3-0. Thank you. Next item, please.
2, consider approval of contract C 235-2025 with Finney and Turnipseed Transportation and Civil Engineering, LLC of Topeka, to provide professional design and construction engineering services for a bridge replacement project on Northeast Calhoun Bluff Road over a tributary to the Kansas River at a total lump sum cost of $76,400.
Good morning, Commissioners. Kurt Niehaus, Director of Public Works. As one project comes to an end, another project starts. Basically, this gets us started on design work for another bridge replacement project. This project will be somewhat different than what we typically do in that we're not going to replace this existing bridge with another bridge. We're going to replace it with a smaller culvert, and the reason we're able to do that is because we don't need the hydraulic opening that we used to when the existing bridge was built. There's been changes involving, Soldier Creek, the Soldier Creek cutoff. So this is really just a little tributary ditch that drains to the Kansas River, so we can make the structure smaller, save a lot of money, theoretically save on life cycle maintenance costs. The selection or the Professional Services Committee discussed this over a number of days, and we decided, because of the proximity of the project to the Union Pacific main line out of Kansas City, that Finney and Turnipseed would be the best firm to do the design work. With that, I look forward to your questions.
Questions? Commissioner Rippon?
Kurt, we do a lot of bridge projects. Could you remind everybody how many bridges we actually have in Shawnee County?
Well, we have 261, and when this project's complete, we'll have 260.
That's why we have a lot of bridge projects. All right, thank you.
Questions? Nope. All right. I'll move for approval.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Mays, second by Commissioner Rippon. Those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion passes 3-0. Thank you. Next item, please.
F, Court Administration. 1, consider approval of Contract C 233-2025 with Scram Systems to provide GPS monitoring services for juvenile offenders through Shawnee County Court Services. This agreement will run a period of 36 months at a cost of $2.48 per day per device being actively used. The maximum annual contract amount is estimated to be $17,198.80.
Good morning, Commissioners. Lee Welch, Court Administrator, Shawnee County District Court. As read by Lisa Schmidt, this is a contract that we're hoping to enter with Scram Services. These services were previously provided through a similar contract that was held by Community Corrections and funded through grant dollars. So the court was using the majority, if not all, of the devices at that time. So we've been asked to take over that contract, and that's what we're ready to do.
Okay. Questions?
I'm happy to answer any questions.
Question? No?
I'll move for approval.
I'll second. Motion by Commissioner Cook, second by Commissioner Mays. Those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion passes 3-0. Thank you. Next item, please.
G, Solid Waste. 1, request to issue request for quotations for concrete replacement at the Shawnee County Household Hazardous Waste Facility. Funding will come from the 2025 Solid Waste Operational Budget, which is 100% user fee funded with no taxpayer assistance.
Good morning, Commissioners. Bill Sutton, Shawnee County Solid Waste. What this agenda item is we're asking to go out for quotations for concrete replacement up to HHW. The existing building was built back in 1998. It's had tens of thousands of people through there, and as a result, we've had some degradation of the concrete. And we'd like to add a concrete pad as well on the north side of the building. So we'd like to do this in 2 phases. So we'd like to replace the south end first, and then we'd like to replace the sidewalk and add that little corner up there on the northwest side there of the building. We'd like to go out for quotation with this. Obviously, this is 100% user fee funded with no tax dollars used. I have consulted with our audit finance, and they see no adverse impact to my operational budget for this year. So subject to your questions, gentlemen.
Any questions? No? I'll move for approval.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Mays, second by Commissioner Rippon. Those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion passes 3-0. Thank you. Next item, please.
I did not see anyone signed up for public comment.
I didn't have anyone.
So next item is 6, Administrative Communications.
All right, first up.
Good morning, Commissioners. Bill Sutton, Shawnee County Solid Waste. I'd like to remind everybody that this is a holiday week with Juneteenth being celebrated on Thursday. So as a result, we are sliding our Wednesday and Thursday customers one day to the left. So tomorrow will be our double day with our Tuesday and Wednesday customers, and then Wednesday will be our Thursday customers. Then obviously Friday will just be catching up on everything. So follow us on Facebook or sign up for Recycle Coach, which is a free program to remind you of any holiday collection events. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, Commissioners. Danny Lottridge, Sheriff's Office. This coming Sunday, June 22nd, our agency is hosting our second annual Canine Games. This will be held at the Stormont Valley Event Center, the Domer Livestock Arena. The event will be from 1 to 3. The gates open at noon, and the concessions will be available for the public inside the event center. So this year we have a total of 12 dogs competing in 40-yard sprints, barrier jump, and vehicle extraction. So we would like to invite the public to come out and see our dogs and work and cheer on your home team here. Thank you.
So the dogs are all, where are they from? Are they all Shawnee County Sheriff or?
So we will have our dogs competing. We will have dogs from the Kansas Highway Patrol, the Lawrence Police Department, and the Overland Park Police Department competing.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. Sounds like fun.
Get the dogs.
Remember that phrase. Jennifer Sauer, Financial Administrator. I'm sure you'll say it after mine, too.
Yeah.
I am here just to publicly remind everyone that we have budget hearings coming up. So the dates for the Shawnee County departmental budget hearings will be July 3rd in the morning and then July 7th, both in the morning and then just shortly after the morning until about 2 p.m., I believe. And so that will be whenever our departments go over their 2026 budget requests, including CIP requests with both department heads, elected officials, and then also our community partners for allocation contracts. So
All right.
that's really all I have. And again,
Sounds like fun.
it'll be fun.
Yes, it does sound like fun. Can't wait, especially that July 3rd. I think it's going to be, our heads are all going to be in the game that week. So, all right. Anyone else? Commissioner Rippon?
I had a good weekend. I helped out the cleanup along the Kansas River between the Topeka Avenue Bridge and Kansas Avenue Bridge on the south side. And I'd like to thank everybody that was out there and helped with that. And put the flags up at War Memorial for Flag Day. And that's it.
All right. Commissioner Cook?
Oh, wait a minute. We do have a birthday coming up.
Oh, yeah. Commissioner Cook's birthday is tomorrow. We will not be singing.
Thank you.
But happy birthday, nonetheless. Nothing else from me, so let's move on to the next item.
Item 7, executive sessions.
So we have a need for an executive session today for 2 items. The first being, this would be a motion that we go into executive session for personnel matters of non-elected personnel, specifically for discipline matters, then for consultation with an attorney for the body or agency which would be deemed privileged in the attorney-client relationship. That's going to be for a third-party management contract and also for pending litigation. So I would say let's do 15 minutes for each of those, and then we'll extend if we need to. So motion would be for 30 minutes total.
Second.
Got a motion by Commissioner Mays, second by Commissioner Rippon. Those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion passes 3-0. Let's take just a few minutes, so maybe let's just go 9:45. We'll start. So. We are back from executive session. No action was taken. We're adjourned.